Welcome to the CASAS Civics Citizenship Preparation Basics presentation. My name is Portia LaFerla. I'm the CASAS Program Specialist for the Citizenship Interview Test. I hope this presentation will answer your questions about the details of offering a citizenship preparation program under the AEFLA WIOA Title II Integrated Civics Grant. I've posted these slides on the California Citizenship page of the CASAS website. They're meant to be a one-stop information and reference tool for anyone offering a California WIOA II citizenship preparation program. Here are the goals and objectives for this presentation. By the end of the session, you'll be able to identify the requirements of a citizenship preparation program under the California WIOA II Civics Grant, including the testing requirements for earning payment points. This part of the webinar will give you information about CASAS pre-post testing and remote testing options. After that, we'll look at the requirements to become a certified citizenship interview test examiner and at information about annual recertification. I'll also show you how to access information and resources through the CASAS and USCIS websites. And I'll highlight a few other online instructional resources that you might find helpful. Let's start by looking at what citizenship preparation looks like under the Civics Grant. Citizenship preparation is authorized under the AEFLA Workforce Investment and Opportunity Act, Title II. To keep things simple, I'm just going to call this grant WIOA II. In defining English literacy and citizenship, WIOA II specifically allows education services which enable competency in English language and advanced skills needed to function effectively as parents, workers, and citizens of the United States. Under WIOA II, civic participation includes teaching learners about the rights and responsibilities of citizenship. Under WIOA II, your agency can offer classes in 3 focus areas. Citizenship preparation falls under the 231 Citizenship Preparation focus area. And I'll show you how to set that up in TE in the next section of this presentation. Please notice that the focus of citizenship preparation is English literacy. A citizenship program uses ESL methodology and citizenship preparation content to prepare the learners to take and pass the USCIS civics and speaking tests. The civics section tests the applicant's knowledge of U.S. history and government. The content's taken from the USCIS list of government and history questions. The naturalization interview is based on questions asked during the review of the N400 application for citizenship. How can California agencies earn WIOA II citizenship payment points? And how many payment points can a student earn for citizenship preparation in a program year? There are 2 payment points that that agencies can earn for citizenship. The first one is for the government and history listening test, and the other one is for the citizenship interview test. There are 2 forms for government and history and 2 forms for the CIT. So if a student doesn't pass the first test, they can be retested with the other form after additional instruction. The government and history listening test takes about 25 minutes, and the CIT oral exam, which is a one-on-one oral exam, takes about 10 to 15 minutes. Students pass both of these tests with a score of 206 or above. If we look at this payment points report, you can see where the citizenship payment points appear. Notice that they're in addition to the 3 231 payment points that students can earn by passing EL Civics co-op assessments. And they are in addition to the 243 payment points earned for integrated literacy, English literacy, and civics education, or IELCE, if you're funded for that program. In looking at this report, how many students passed the CIT? There were 6. And how many passed the government and history? There were 379. Remember those numbers because they'll be of interest as we continue to look at payment points. There are several requirements for earning citizenship payment points. The first requirement is that the student be enrolled in a 231 funded citizenship preparation designated course in TOPS Enterprise, or TE. When you set up your citizenship classes in TE, notice that the instructional program in class instances gets marked as ESL ELL for California agencies. Do not mark citizenship, and there is no need to mark any special program option. The same class instance screen in TE, use the drop-down menu under Focus Area to choose 231 EL Civics Citizenship Preparation. Agencies can only collect citizenship payment points for students who are enrolled in a course that is designated as citizenship preparation in TE. The link on the slide will take you to a how-to video on the CASAS California Citizenship Preparation YouTube channel. The second requirement is that students must have a CASAS pre-post test pair. Usually this will be the STEPS reading or STEPS listening test series. And the third requirement is for staff to complete an entry and update record or the equivalent for each learner. Now we'll take a closer look at CASAS assessments and test administration for citizenship preparation. The reading for citizenship tests are only for beginning level learners. They're designed to motivate the beginning level readers to improve their reading skills within the context of citizenship. The tests are available at the CASAS A and extended AX levels. This test is no longer approved as a pre-post test option for California WIOA 2 agencies. It has been refreshed, so it looks more up to date, but the content has not changed from the previous version. The CASAS Government and History for Citizenship test is a listening test for high beginning to advanced level ESL students. It's a test of the knowledge of U.S. government and history, and questions are based on the U.S. CIS question list. The student listens to the recorded questions and chooses the response through e-testing or using a paper test booklet. The student sees only the response choices, not the questions. No special training is required to administer the paper-based test. The test administrator should follow the directions in the administration manual. For e-testing, however, the test administrator must be an e-test certified proctor. Knowledge of U.S. history and government is important for all of our students, and many agencies teach this content and then administer the government and history to their general ESL population. They earn many more payment points for their schools than schools who only offer that test to students preparing for citizenship. Notice the data in this TE payment point screenshot on this slide. It shows this agency collected 6 payment points for the CIT test, which are most probably earned by students who are getting ready for their citizenship interview. They collected 379 payment points for the government and history because they enrolled their general ESL population into a citizenship preparation designated course, offered the government and history instruction, and then gave the government and history test. There are a couple of ways that your program can do this. One way is to split the class into 2 sections. One for Citizenship Preparation 231 or 243 IELCE, and one for citizenship. The student gets enrolled into both sections and receives instruction for both programs. Or a term can be split into 2 time periods, with the first time period designated as Civic Participation 231 or 243, and the second for 231 Citizenship Preparation, or vice versa. The citizenship FAQs give information about how you can split an ESL course between CIT Prep and Civic Participation, or IELCE. If students have 30 hours of instruction and complete an EL Civics co-op and pass it, such as 40, which is about U.S. government and history, they can earn an additional payment point. You can find the FAQ document on the citizenship preparation page of the CASAS website. The second test that earns citizenship preparation payment points is the Citizenship Interview Test, or the CIT. The CIT is a one-on-one oral interview. The interview has questions about personal and other information that's on the N400 application for citizenship. Some examples of questions from the N400 are about marital status, previous education, residency, income, and paying taxes. The test helps determine if a student is ready to pass the USCIS interview. The test does not address all parts of the N400 and is not the USCI interview itself. It's a predictor of success. Citizenship teachers can adjust course content to teach any changes to the N400 form. Whereas the government and history test content should be of broad interest to your immigrant students, the CIT test is probably only of interest to students who are preparing for the citizenship interview. Only certified CIT examiners can administer the CIT. Agency staff must be currently certified in order for students to earn payment points. The online certification and recertification modules train CIT examiners on how to administer this interview and how to accurately score interview responses. If you want to become a CIT examiner, you can place an order for the self-paced online training course at www.casas.org. There is no charge for California WIOA 2 agencies. There are 3 parts to the citizenship certification process. The online self-paced CIT course takes 4 to 6 hours to complete. The course contains practice using scoring guidelines and scoring anchors that help make sure that all CIT examiners score in a consistent way. Once you as a participant successfully complete the online certification quiz, you proceed to part 2, where you need to score 80% accuracy 3 of 6 interviews. In part 3, you will record 2 interviews, 973 and 974, with beginning high to intermediate level students. You will then send the interviews to CASAS for review. CASAS will notify you of your certification status. Once you pass, you'll be able to complete the test security agreement and print your certificate of completion. Here are a few hints for success. Each CIT examiner must complete the training individually. Take time to save time. When you're in the practice exercises, think carefully about how each question is scored and why this is the score. During training and after successful certification, always refer to the scoring documents to ensure consistency. Do not attempt to score them from memory. If you find that you're having issues with scoring, send an email to sit@casas.org and we will assist you. Do not wait until April to recertify or certify. CIT certification expires each year on June 30th. Annual recertification is the process used to make sure that CIT examiners are continuing to score interviews in a standardized manner and not drifting in their scoring. CIT examiners will be notified about their certification status and recertification procedures each year. CIT examiners can recertify online between January and April 30th. For those of you already certified, please note that CASAS sometimes updates the scoring guidelines and anchors with clarifications and additional examples of how to score responses. CIT examiners should always refer to the scoring anchors and guidelines when they are scoring. Make sure to download and use the most recent versions when you recertify. Recertifiers should have downloaded and be using the version of the test administration directions that is on the training site. Contact sit@casas.org about any questions regarding CIT certification or recertification. Next, I'll go over some information about remote testing for citizenship. The Citizenship Interview Test and Government and History for Citizenship Test can be offered remotely. All remote testing has benefits and challenges. Remote testing keeps students engaged and provides them with feedback on their learning progress as they prepare for the USCIS interview. There will always be students who benefit from a remote testing option for reasons like lack of childcare, transportation, or a difficult work schedule. Although there can be issues of access and suitability of the student test environment, the 2 citizenship preparation exams are relatively easy to offer remotely using cell phones and other online platforms. In order to offer the CIT through remote testing, at least one CIT examiner from the agency needs to complete the online CIT remote testing training webinar. This person can then train other CIT examiners at their agency, or the examiners can complete the online training. Each SIT examiner signs a proctor remote testing agreement, which the agency keeps on file. These documents can be accessed from the California citizenship page on the CASAS website. For remote testing, SIT examiners must follow both the SIT remote testing guidelines and the SIT test administration directions. SIT examiners download these test directions during their certification training. Before beginning the interview, the student agrees orally to the test security questions by answering a series of scripted questions. For example, is anybody else in the room? Will you take the test by yourself? You cannot share the test questions with anyone. Do you agree? You can find this script in the SIT remote testing guidelines. You can use the same script with students for remote testing with the government and history. SIT examiners and their agencies are responsible for ensuring test security when remote testing. Remember that the citizenship interview test can only be administered one-on-one, whether in person or remotely. No group testing is allowed. If you choose the remote testing option, SIT examiners can email sit@casas.org to request fillable PDF SIT booklets for scoring. Whether you administer the SIT remotely, you must follow the test administration directions for SIT unless the SIT remote testing guidelines specifically state otherwise. The government history can be given remotely. The ideal way is to offer it through e-testing, but if you don't have that option available, CASAS has created a flash drive option for administering this test. The flash drive has a PowerPoint presentation with embedded audio that you can use through Zoom or any other appropriate online platform. Once test administration starts, the PowerPoint slideshow, it advances automatically. The slides display the answer choices, students listen to the audio and choose their answers. The drive contains the test administration instructions and both forms 965 and 966. There's also a practice test question, which is very useful for making sure the students can see and hear the presentation before beginning the test. The test can be given to up to 10 students at a time if the test administrator can properly monitor that number while following remote testing guidelines. Your agency can decide the best method for how the students will record and submit their answers. And to review, no special certification is necessary to order and administer the paper-based or flash drive options for the government and history test. Test administrators follow the instructions in the Government and History Test Administration Manual. CASAS e-test proctor certification is required for all e-testing. If you choose to use the Government and History flash drive, order one drive per test administrator. Agency personnel may not duplicate or share the flash drive. Use the CASAS California order form, or you can send an email to sit@casas.org to request a form. There is no charge to California WIOA 2 agencies. Let's review with a short quiz. Who can test administrators share the Government and History flash drive with? Flash drives cannot be shared. Can agencies copy the Government and History flash drive? No. How many flash drives should an agency order? One for each test administrator. What certification is needed to administer the CASAS Government and History test using the flash drive option? No certification is needed. All of the information you need to implement remote testing is on the citizenship preparation page of the CASAS website, along with this webinar. And the webinar for remote testing, documents, and training materials that you will need to get started with citizenship remote testing. The Proctor Remote Testing Agreement is on the CASAS training page. Once you have completed remote test training for the SIT, you can keep the one-page Going Remote checklist as an easy reference for making sure you are following remote testing guidelines. The same as for any other ESL, EL Civics payment point, citizenship preparation requires each student to have a complete student outcome data set. This means each student must have a valid pre-post test pair and an entry and update form or equivalent. Although these are not payment points, you can record citizenship outcomes in the family community section of the update form, which will also populate as a CAPE outcome under I3. Before offering a citizenship preparation program, citizenship teachers need to become familiar with citizenship information and resources so they can plan instruction. Some really great resources to assist your school with planning and delivering instruction for citizenship preparation are readily available online. Many of them can be accessed through the CASAS website. The red arrows show where to find the slides for the EL Civics Citizenship Preparation Training and the Citizenship Preparation FAQs. This slide is a screenshot from the bottom of the CASAS webpage. The pink arrow takes you to the CASAS Citizenship YouTube channel, where you can find many informative videos to help you with offering a citizenship program. The red arrow shows a link to the CASAS assessments, where there are descriptions of the tests and ordering information, including a link for ordering CIT certification training. There's no charge to California WIOA 2 agencies for CIT certification or recertification training. You have to be logged in to the CASAS website to order the training. When you click on the Order Now green button, it will take you to the order page where you'll find the fillable PDF order form. When you complete the form, you'll include the names and emails of the trainees. Indicate whether they'll be completing certification training or annual recertification. Email the completed form to orders@casas.org. The CASAS Citizenship YouTube channel has videos, including a version of this presentation and several short how-to videos on topics like setting up classes in TE. There are also curricular resource videos by experts in the field. I'm going to show you some learning resources that you and your students can use for citizenship preparation. This slide shows what you will see if you click on the link to the USCIS Resource Center page. The USCIS Citizenship Resource Center has citizenship information for those seeking citizenship and a variety of resources for educational programs. The Resource Center has excellent lesson plans for education and practice materials for teachers to use for instruction. There are self-study lessons for learners. It's good for both the teachers and the students to become familiar with this site. Under Education Products for Educators and Program Administrators, there's a searchable database of lesson plans, handouts, and answer keys that are available for beginning level students and above on a wide variety of topics. There are resources like ready-made vocabulary lessons for the N400 application for citizenship and curricular materials for the American history and government-related resources. In using the search function, choose Educator, and then in the Search by Context box, type in lesson plans and browse all the available materials, or enter a topic like Early America. Below Resources for Educational Programs, there's a how-to menu with information on setting up a citizenship program, teacher training recruitment, and more. As an example, you can click on Prepare Students for the Interview Test, Interview Speaking Test Resources, and then open the links under Understanding Commands, and you'll see links for classroom materials and practice exercises with teacher guides. You can click on Prepare Students for Interview and Test, Interview and Speaking Test Resources, and then opening links under Understanding Commands. The USCIS also has a YouTube channel with multilingual presentations on the naturalization process to assist those seeking citizenship. The videos vary, with some lasting less than a minute and others that are as long as 20 minutes. They're very practical and could be of great help to help citizenship applicants. There is also a 4-video series on the naturalization interview and test. You and your students should take some time to explore these extensive resources. There are several other excellent online resources for citizenship preparation. One free resource is USA Learns. The USA Learns citizenship course uses engaging multimedia and interactive activities to help non-native speakers prepare for the naturalization interview. It includes lessons about the N400 review and the civics reading and writing tests. It gives students extensive practice in listening and pronunciation. At the end of each lesson, there's even a short interview practice with an officer, where students can record their own responses to interview questions. The USA Learns Citizenship has been updated with new information, practice, and skills. There are new resources for teachers, too, with a scope and sequence correlated to the N400, the Civics and Government section, and the naturalization process. It can now be used on phones or tablets. There's another new course in USA Learns called Access America. The course follows the lives of a new immigrant family as they navigate life in a new country. Each lesson includes speaking practice, vocabulary games, and flashcards. There are getting help videos to teach students how to access resources and listening practice items throughout the course. In addition, the course teaches language for improving digital skills with information about computer security and instructions for how to use many useful websites and apps. If you plan to use the USA Learns, notice that there are 2 different registration options on the register screen. One for students who are studying independently, and one for teachers, where they can create classes and have students enroll. Students can create a free account and learn and practice on their own, and the program will keep track of what lessons they have completed along with their scores. To create classes, the teacher registers and follows the instructions to create 1 or more classes, and then invites students to enroll in the teacher's class through a link that is generated by USA Learns. This option allows a teacher to monitor student enrollment and progress and gives the teacher access to a gradebook. For more information about this course, go to usalearns.org. Another really good free and easy-to-use resource is Ventures Arcade. Students can use the Ventures Arcade citizenship section to practice answering questions on civics, history, government, and the N400 without having to create an account or log in. There are 6 categories within the citizenship lessons and different kinds of activities students can complete. There's even a grade report that students can view and print for themselves or give to the teachers. ESL programs that use the Blended Learning Burlington English program can find citizenship preparation by going to Courses, English in America, and then Student Lessons or Vocabulary Practice. Lessons 14 and 15 of each of these 3 levels contain the citizenship content. All students should work through all the lessons in all 3 levels of English in America so they don't miss learning any important citizenship content. N400 naturalization interview practice is also included. Let's do a little review quiz as a reminder of a few important points. What CASAS ESL test series can be used for NRS pre-post testing? Steps, reading, and listening. How many payment points can be earned for WIOA 231 citizenship preparation? 2 per student. In class instance in TOPS Enterprise, what instructional program should be marked for a citizenship class? ESL. In order to earn citizenship payment points, a student must be enrolled in a class with the focus area designated as 231 EL Civics Citizenship Preparation. I hope this presentation has been helpful to you and that we've met the goals of the webinar. We have identified the requirements specific to citizenship preparation under the AEFLA WIOA 2 Integrated EL Civics Grant. We have examined the requirements for earning citizenship preparation payment points, including a review of citizenship preparation tests, pre-post testing requirements, and remote testing options. We learned about certification and recertification requirements for the CASAS Citizenship Interview Test. And lastly, we explored citizenship preparation information and instructional resources that could be accessed on the CASAS website, including the USCIS website and other readily available online learning options. Thank you for viewing this presentation. Please share the information you have learned with others at your agency. And if you have any questions about citizenship preparation, you can send an email to cit@casas.org.